My child, stop for a moment, and do not scroll past this, because I have drawn close tonight to say something to you with both urgency and tenderness. This moment did not find you by accident. I arranged for these words to reach you now, on this very night, because I have been watching something in your life that you have learned to live with. Something you have carried so long that you no longer notice its weight, and I need to tell you plainly, because I love you too much to stay silent. What you have been carrying is no longer only in your heart. It has begun to touch your body, your mind, and your peace. This is not a message to condemn you. It is an interruption of love. So stay with me until the end, because by the time these words are finished, you will understand what I am protecting you from, and you will know exactly what to do. Let me begin gently, because I know how easily a warning can feel like an accusation. And this is not that. I am not speaking to you out of anger. I am speaking to you the way a good physician speaks to someone he cares for, pointing to something early before it deepens, while there is still time to heal. I see what others overlook. I see the weariness you have learned to call normal. I see the stress you hide behind your strength. I see the way you keep pushing when everything in you is asking to rest. And I am not showing you this to frighten you. I am compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, and abounding in love. That is from Psalm 103, verse 8. Hear those words, because they are the heart behind everything I am about to say. This warning is not fear. It is love drawing a boundary so that you can move forward whole, restored, and ready for what is ahead. If you are willing to receive this as love and not condemnation, type, I receive this as love, not condemnation. Now let me tell you why I am speaking now in this season, and not in some other. There are times I am quiet, and my silence is never absence or neglect. Silence is often where I am doing hidden work, shaping you in ways you cannot see. But when I choose to speak clearly, it means the season has shifted. It means direction is needed, that something can no longer be ignored. This is a moment of transition for you, from being quietly formed to being actively guided. I am bringing clarity where there has been confusion, and drawing your attention to what you have been too tired to notice. And understand this, my child, I always speak before I move. I reveal before I require. I do not let my children be caught unprepared or out of position. So the very fact that I am speaking to you now is mercy. It means there is still time to adjust, to strengthen what has grown weak, and to respond with wisdom instead of regret. If you are choosing to listen now before the warning has to grow any louder, type, I am listening before the warning grows louder. Let me name what is happening, because you have felt it without having words for it. The things that are draining you are not always things the world would call wrong. Some of them seem harmless. Some even seem productive, responsible, admirable. But spiritual weight is not measured by how a thing appears. It is measured by what it quietly draws out of your inner life. Not everything that exhausts you is a sin, my child. Some things are simply weights, and weights do not attack you loudly. They wear you down slowly, a little at a time, until clarity dims, sensitivity fades, and what once flowed with ease now takes everything you have. I am not correcting you because you have done something evil. I am guiding you because you are carrying more than you were ever meant to carry. Not everything you are able to bear is something you were meant to bear. Anything that consistently dulls your discernment, drains your body, or numbs your spirit is a sign that something needs to be set down. This is not about condemnation. It is about clearing your load so you can walk forward with strength again. Let me describe what I have been watching, because you have grown so used to it that you no longer see it yourself. I see the way you wake already tired, before the day has even asked anything of you. I see the tension you carry in your body that never fully lets go, the shoulders that do not come down, the breath that stays shallow. I see the nights your mind will not stop, replaying what you did not finish, and rehearsing what tomorrow will demand. I see how you have learned to run on urgency, treating every task as though the world would fall apart if you paused. I see the small joys that have quietly gone silent, the things that used to make you laugh that you no longer have the energy to notice. And I see the loneliest part, the way you have told everyone you are fine over and over, until you almost believe it, while inside you are running on fumes and afraid to admit how empty the tank has become. Hear me, my child. I am not showing you this to make you feel worse. I am showing you that I see it. All of it. The parts you have hidden even from the people closest to you, because the first step toward healing is knowing that you have been seen and you are not alone in it. You have been carrying this by yourself for a long time. You do not have to carry it alone anymore, and understand something about the way these things creep in, because the enemy is patient. He rarely announces his plans, especially with someone who carries purpose the way you do. A loud attack is obvious and easy to resist. Subtle erosion is far more dangerous, precisely because it feels manageable at every step. He does not try to stop you all at once. He simply gets you to say yes to a little too much, again and again, until the weight you are carrying has doubled, and you never notice the moment it became too heavy. He knows he does not need to defeat a purposeful soul in a single blow. He only needs to wear them down slowly, one unguarded yes at a time, until they are too depleted to hear me clearly. That is why I am interrupting the pattern now, before the slow erosion becomes a collapse. I would rather warn you gently tonight than watch you break in a season I could have spared you from. Before I take you deeper, let me tell you how these very words reached you tonight, because a weary heart should know. You did not pay anything to receive this. It came to you freely, likely on an evening when the tiredness was sitting heavy on you, when you were running on empty and did not know how to say so. And it came freely because someone who once stood exactly where you stand, someone who nearly burned out before they learned to rest in me, found healing in this truth, and chose to sow a seed so that the next weary soul would find it in time. Tonight, you are that soul. Someone you will never meet made a way for these words to reach you before you collapsed under a weight you were never meant to carry alone. So tonight, you owe nothing, and you simply receive. And if there ever comes a season when your strength has returned and I lead you to, you may choose to become that for the next tired heart, sowing a seed of any amount so this word of rest keeps reaching the ones running on empty. The link is there for whenever you are ready, and never as a price for a single thing I am speaking over you tonight. Now hear a truth that will change how you see your whole life. Many believe that their walk with me is only about prayer, worship, and church. But my design for you was never so narrow. I see the whole person. I do not separate your spirit from your body and your mind, as though only one of them mattered to me. I made you whole, spirit, soul, and body, meant to work together, and what affects one will always affect the others. A tired body weakens your ability to focus on me. An overwhelmed mind dulls your sensitivity to my voice. When one part of you is neglected, the rest of you feels the strain. I never intended for your growth to come at the cost of your health. Do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have received from God? That is from 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19. Your body is not an obstacle to your calling. It is the very dwelling I chose. Your rest matters to me. Your health matters to me. I am not glorified by your constant exhaustion, and I never asked you to destroy the temple in order to serve me. If you can begin to honor the body I gave you as the temple it is, type, I am a temple, not a machine, and this is where I must speak to you very tenderly, because the strong ones struggle here the most. The very strength I placed in you can become a snare if it hardens into self-reliance. You push when others pause. You keep going when you should stop. What looks like discipline on the outside can sometimes be avoidance on the inside, because stopping feels uncomfortable, and staying busy lets you avoid what stillness would make you feel. You have called your exhaustion faithfulness. You have labeled your burnout perseverance. But I never asked you to grind yourself down to prove your devotion to me. I do not measure your love by how depleted you are. I desire obedience sustained by wisdom, not endurance fueled by neglect. There is no crown waiting for the one who ran until they broke, when I was offering them rest the whole time. If you are ready to stop mistaking your exhaustion for your faithfulness, type, my exhaustion is not my faithfulness. Let me reach the root of it, because the striving did not begin on its own. Somewhere along the way you learned that your worth was tied to what you do. That love had to be earned. That if you ever stopped producing, you might stop being needed, and being needed had become the only way you knew to feel secure. Perhaps you learned it young, in a home where rest was called laziness, and only achievement was praised. Perhaps you learned it through a season of survival, when you truly had no choice but to carry everything, and you simply never learned how to set it back down when the season passed. However it began, hear me now, you do not have to earn your place with me. I did not fall in love with your productivity. I love you, the one behind all the doing, the one who existed before you ever accomplished a single thing, and who will still be mine long after the striving stops. Your value was never in your output. It was settled the day I formed you and called you my own, so the frantic pace you keep is not the price of belonging. You already belong. You can stop running now, and understand this, because the strong ones forget it most. I made you not only to give, but to receive. You have become so practiced at being the one others lean on that you have forgotten how to lean yourself. You are quick to help, quick to carry, quick to give, but when help is offered to you, something in you resists, insists you are fine, waves it away. That is not humility, my child. That is a wound wearing the mask of strength. Even I, who need nothing, chose to receive, letting others walk with me, provide for me, sit with me in my hardest hour. If my own son allowed himself to be ministered to, then you are allowed to be ministered to as well. Learning to receive, from me and from the people I place around you, is not weakness. It is the very thing that will keep you from breaking. The one who only ever gives and never receives is not strong. They are simply on their way to empty. Let yourself be helped. Let yourself be held. Let me, and the ones I send, pour back into the well you keep drawing from. Let me show you the pattern of your own life so you can see what I see. Erosion never happens in a single moment. It happens through many small concessions. A missed moment of stillness here, an ignored ache of fatigue there. A warning quietly pushed aside for another day. None of these feel significant on their own, but repetition turns moments into patterns, and patterns shape the whole direction of a life. What begins as just this once becomes the way you live. The fire does not go out suddenly. It dims quietly, so slowly you do not notice until the warmth is nearly gone. And it is not because I have left you. I remain near, faithful, unchanging. But even what I have anointed must be tended. The oil in the lamp is not excitement, my child. The oil is upkeep. It is unhurried time with me. It is rest without guilt. It is listening to the quiet warnings before they are forced to become loud ones. You can be sincere, devoted, and still be running on empty. You can love me deeply and still neglect the very care that keeps your inner fire alive. Purpose alone does not sustain a life. Stewardship does. I know how easily a word like this can fade by morning. So if something in your spirit is stirring as you hear this, do not let this be the last time my voice reaches you here. Subscribe and turn on the reminder, not out of pressure, but so that when I speak the next word over your healing and your strength, it finds you in the exact hour you need it. I am not finished restoring you, and I do not want you to miss what comes next. Now let me correct a lie you have believed for far too long. That exhaustion is a badge of honor. That if you are worn down, you must be doing something right. Nowhere have I ever taught that depletion equals holiness. I never measured your faithfulness by how tired you are. Look at my own son. Even he did not live that way. He moved with intention, not frantic urgency. He understood timing, rhythm, and boundaries. He did not rush endlessly from one demand to the next. Again and again he withdrew from the crowds, from the pressure, from the constant reaching of the people, to lonely places to be still and to pray. Those moments of withdrawal were not him avoiding his mission. They were the source of his strength. The miracles did not flow out of chaos. They flowed out of communion. He rested, not because he was weak, but because he was wise, and his rest was an expression of deep trust in the Father's control. If my own son honored rest, then rest is not optional for you either. You are not carrying more than he carried. You are not more called than he was. And if he paused, then you, my child, are allowed to pause too. Let me remind you of something I wove into the very fabric of the world, long before you were born, because you have treated it as optional when I made it essential. When I formed creation, I did not only make work, I made rest, and I built it into the rhythm of everything. I set a day of rest into the very order of the week, not because I needed it, but because I knew you would. I made the fields to lie fallow in their seasons, so the soil could be renewed and give a greater harvest later. I made the night to follow the day, so that even the strongest among you would be required to stop, to lie down, to surrender control and trust me while you slept. Rest is not an afterthought I added for the weak. It is a law I built into creation itself, as real as gravity. And when you violate it, you do not prove your strength. You simply pay a price, slowly, in your body, your mind, and your spirit. The whole world runs faster and faster now and calls it progress. But I never changed the rhythm I designed you for. You were made for a cadence of work and rest, of pouring out and being refilled, of labor and stillness. When you abandon that cadence, you are not being more faithful than I asked. You are living against the very design I built you with. Return to the rhythm, my child. It was always meant to protect you, not to slow you down. And hear me on the deepest reason rest is an act of faith, because this is the heart of it. When you refuse to stop, somewhere underneath it you are believing that everything depends on you, that if you let go even for a moment, it will all fall apart. But I am the one who holds it together, not you. Every time you lie down and rest, you are making a quiet declaration that I am God and you are not, that the world does not rest upon your shoulders, that I can be trusted to keep what you cannot keep while you sleep. That is why rest requires faith, and why the striving is so often underneath a form of fear. You are afraid that if you are not doing, you will not be enough, or things will not get done, or you will lose control. So let me ask you gently, do you trust me enough to stop? Do you believe I can hold your life for one evening, one day, one season, while you recover the strength you have spent? Your rest is not only good for your body, it is one of the purest ways you say to me, I trust you, and I am worthy of that trust. And let me tell you a secret about the battle you cannot see, because it will change how you guard yourself. The enemy is far less threatened by a believer who is tempted than by a believer who is rested. A tired soul is easier to distract, easier to confuse, easier to wear down. When your body is depleted, your mind grows foggy and your spirit grows quiet, and in that fog the gentle warnings go unnoticed and the quiet nudges are missed. Pressure begins to sound like instruction, and clarity, real clarity, requires rest. Without it, people rarely fall in some loud, dramatic moment. They drift quietly, they compromise slowly, they delay their obedience, not because they want to rebel, but because they are simply too tired to hear me clearly. This is why rest is not indulgence. It is protection. Guarding your strength is one of the ways you guard your soul. If you can see now that your rest is not laziness, but a wall of protection around your life, type, I trust that rest is an act of faith. And let me free you from the trap of comparison, because it has driven you harder than you know. You look at others who seem to do more, carry more, move faster, and you measure yourself against their pace, and you conclude you must not be doing enough. But you are not seeing the whole picture. You do not see what their pace is quietly costing them. You do not see the toll behind the appearance. And more importantly, you were never meant to run someone else's race at someone else's speed. I did not give you their assignment, their season, or their strength. I gave you yours. The pace that is right for another may be the very thing that breaks you, and the rest that another mocks may be the exact thing I prescribed for your survival. Stop measuring your life against people I made differently. In seasons I designed differently, for purposes I assigned differently. When you compare, you either grow proud or grow crushed, and neither one is from me. Run your race, at the pace I set for you, and let others run theirs. Faithfulness is not matching another person's speed, it is obeying the rhythm I gave you. I know how many voices are pulling at you, so let this not be the last time my voice reaches you here. Subscribe, and stay close to this house, so that when I release the next word over your restoration, it finds you. I am walking you through a whole season of healing, not a single moment, and there is more I need to say to you before it is done. So let me teach you to read the very thing you have been ignoring, because that heaviness you carry is not meaningless. It did not come to shame you. It came as a signal. What you have been feeling is not weakness, and it is not random. It is information. Weariness is often your body and your spirit saying what your mouth has never had the space to say. I designed you with these signals on purpose, and ignoring them does not make them disappear. It only delays the understanding you need. Your spirit has been trying to speak to you. It has been telling you that something needs attention, needs adjustment, needs rest. When the spirit grows heavy, it is often because it has been carrying more than it was ever meant to carry alone, and your body has been speaking too. The fatigue, the tension, the restlessness, the dullness. These are not failures of your faith. They are messengers. I do not bypass the body to reach the soul. Often the body is the first messenger I send. If you can finally hear the weariness as a signal instead of a shame type, the weariness was a signal, not a weakness. Let me pause once more simply, as the ministry that carries these words to you. This message found you tonight only because someone before you made a way, someone who was once as worn down as you are now, and who chose to make it possible for the next weary heart to breathe again. Somewhere tonight there is another tired soul running on fumes, calling their burnout faithfulness, aching for exactly the rest you are being offered now. If I ever lead you, you can become the reason it reaches them. Sowing a seed of any amount so this word keeps traveling to the ones about to collapse. You would simply be passing forward what was freely handed to you. Every seed sown in love is remembered by me. The link is in the description and pinned in the comments, only ever as a gift for the next heart, never as a condition of your own. Now let me answer the fear underneath all of this. The quiet worry that you have already fallen too far behind, that you have burned out too long, that you are somehow disqualified. Hear me, if I were finished with you, the conviction would have faded by now. If I had abandoned you, this awareness would have disappeared. But you are still sensing, still feeling, still being drawn back to me. That very pull you feel tonight is mercy. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. That is from Lamentations chapter 3, verses 22 and 23. New every morning, my child. Not new once. Long ago, new tomorrow. And the day after. And every day you wake and turn back toward me. You have not used up my patience. You are not too late. You are not forgotten, and you are not disqualified. What feels delayed is not denied. I am faithful to restore what has been worn down. And the season you are in is not your ending. It is your realignment before your elevation. And I know the fear that is hardest to say out loud, so let me speak to it directly. It is the fear that you have already broken something that cannot be repaired, that you pushed too long, ignored the warnings too many times. And now the damage is done, the fire is out, the best years are spent, and there is no coming back to who you were. Hear me, my child, because this is the truth the enemy most wants to keep from you. There is no place so worn down that my restoration cannot reach it. I am not merely a God who prevents damage. I am a God who rebuilds ruins. I take what has been broken and make it not only whole again, but often stronger than before it broke, because now it knows how to lean on me. I have restored years that everyone declared lost. I have rekindled fires that had been cold for so long that even the one who carried them had given up. So do not measure your future by how depleted you feel today. Today is not the end of the story. It is the turning point, the moment the slow decline stops and the slow rebuilding begins. You have not gone too far. You are not too far gone. The very fact that these words are stirring something in you tonight is proof that the fire is not dead. It is only waiting to be tended. And I am here, right now, to help you tend it. And do not carry the shame of how long it took you to hear me. Some of my children ignore the gentle nudges for years before the warning has to grow loud enough to stop them, and I do not love them any less for it. I am not counting the seasons you missed. I am rejoicing that you are listening now. The father did not scold the son who came home for how long he had stayed away. He ran to meet him while he was still far off. That is how I feel toward you tonight, as you finally turn back toward rest and toward me. Not disappointment for the delay, but joy that you have come. So set down the shame along with the exhaustion. Both of them were weights I never asked you to carry, and understand what I am truly asking of you, because it is lighter than you fear. I am not asking you to do more. You have already been doing far too much. I am asking you to realign, to care for the body I gave you with intention, to nourish it wisely, to guard what you allow into your eyes and your thoughts, and to make quiet space with me again. The fire does not return through noise or striving. It returns through obedience, through returning to the things that actually sustain life. Restoration does not come from pushing harder. It comes from coming back to me. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Those are my own words from Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. I did not say come to me and try harder. I said come to me and rest. That invitation is still open, and it is open to you tonight, exactly as tired as you are. You do not have to clean yourself up first, or catch up on everything undone, or arrive with your strength recovered. You come tired, and I do the restoring. That is the whole point of the invitation, and you have been trying to earn what I have simply been holding out to you as a gift. Let me settle something in you about the waiting, because your generation has been taught to despise it. There is a season for everything, including rest. To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. That is from Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. Waiting is not wasting. A season of slowing down, of healing, of stepping back to recover, is not a detour from your calling. It is part of it. Renewal is an exchange. Your weakness for my strength, your confusion for my clarity, your exhaustion for my peace. But an exchange requires that you actually stop long enough to receive. You cannot be filled with your hands still clenched around everything you are carrying. So let this truth settle your heart tonight. The rest I am calling you to is not you falling behind. It is you being prepared for what is ahead. If you are choosing rhythm over burnout from this night forward, type, I am choosing rhythm over burnout. And let me make this practical, because I do not want you to leave with only feelings and no path. You do not need to overhaul your entire life tonight. And if you try, the very attempt will become one more exhausting thing you failed at. Restoration begins with small, faithful returns. Begin with the first hour of your day, before the demands rush in, before you reach for the noise. Give the first quiet minutes to me, even if all you can manage is to sit in silence and breathe and say, here I am. That small act will reset the whole day, because it puts me first and reminds your soul who holds it. Then guard one boundary this week that you have not been guarding. One yes you turn into a no. One task you release to someone else. One evening you protect for rest instead of surrendering it to the endless list. Then tend your body as the temple it is. Sleep when your body asks for sleep instead of stealing from the night to buy more hours. Eat and move and breathe in ways that honor the vessel I gave you, not to chase some image, but because caring for it is caring for the home of my spirit. None of these are large, but small faithful choices, repeated, are exactly how erosion is reversed. The same slow repetition that wore you down will, turned in the other direction, quietly rebuild you. You did not fall into exhaustion in a day, and you will not climb out in a day, but you will climb out one small obedient choice at a time. And do not let the enemy use your slow progress to condemn you. There will be days you slip back into the old frantic pace, days the guilt returns, days you forget everything I told you tonight and pick the whole weight back up again. When that happens, do not despair, and do not decide you have failed and give up. Simply return. My mercies are new every morning, which means every single morning is a fresh invitation to begin again. The path back to rest is not a straight line, and I am not standing over you with a stopwatch, disappointed at every stumble. I am walking beside you, patient, gentle, cheering every small step in the right direction. You are not being graded, my child. You are being healed, and healing has setbacks, and I have grace for every one of them. So the goal is not perfection. The goal is a heart that keeps turning back toward the rhythm I designed again and again for the rest of your life. And let me speak to the guilt, because I know it is there. Every time you try to rest, a voice rises up to accuse you. It tells you that you are being lazy, that there is too much to do, that resting is selfish, that other people are counting on you. Hear me clearly, that voice is not mine. I am the one who built rest into the very fabric of creation and called it good. If rest was not beneath my own dignity, it is not beneath yours. The guilt you feel when you finally sit still is not conviction from me. It is the residue of a world that taught you your worth is measured by your output. But your worth was never in what you produce. It was settled the day I made you and called you mine. You do not have to earn the right to rest. It was given to you. So when the guilt rises as you finally slow down, do not obey it. Let yourself be still, and let me minister to the parts of you that have not stopped in far too long. If you are ready to rest without carrying guilt for it, type, "I will rest without guilt." Now let me teach you to guard what fuels you, because this is the wisdom that will keep your fire burning for a lifetime. What pours into you matters as much as what pours out of you. You cannot keep giving from a well that is never refilled. So begin to notice what fills you and what empties you. Notice which people leave you lighter and which leave you drained. Notice what you feed your mind through your eyes and your ears in the hours you call rest, because much of what the world calls relaxation only leaves the spirit more restless. True rest is not merely the absence of work. It is the presence of me. Guard your mornings. Guard your quiet. Guard the unhurried time that keeps your lamp full, and do not let the endless demands of others crowd out the one thing that actually sustains you. This is not selfishness. It is stewardship of the life I entrusted to you. If you are ready to guard the things that truly fuel you, type, "I will guard what fuels me." Let me speak to the part of you that worries this will make you selfish. Because I know your heart, and I know you fear that resting means failing the people who depend on you. Hear this: you cannot pour from a cup that is empty. When you give from depletion, what you offer others is thinner than you think, tinged with resentment, drained of the joy that made your giving a blessing in the first place. But when you give from fullness, from a well I have refilled, what flows out of you carries life. Remember the two sisters, the one who ran herself ragged with serving while the other simply sat at my feet and received. I did not scold the busy one for wanting to serve, for her heart was good, but I told her gently that she was worried and troubled about many things when only one thing was truly needed, and that the sister who chose to sit and receive had chosen the better part. Do not hear that as a rebuke. My child, hear it as an invitation. There is a time to serve, and I bless your serving. But there is first a time to sit, to receive, to be filled, so that your serving flows from overflow and not from a well scraped dry. The most loving thing you can do for the people who need you is to let me restore you first, so that you have something real to give them. Your rest is not a betrayal of the ones you love. It is how you keep something worth giving them. Let me pause here once more plainly, as the ministry that brings you these words. Everything you received tonight reached you because someone before you made it possible. Someone who once ran themselves to the very edge, and once they found rest in me, chose to make a way for the next exhausted heart to find it too. Right now there is another weary soul giving from an empty cup, convinced that stopping would mean failing everyone, who needs the exact permission to rest that you found tonight. If I ever lead you, you can be the reason it reaches them, sowing a seed of any amount so this word of rest keeps traveling to the ones about to give out. You would simply be passing forward what was freely handed to you. The link is in the description and pinned for you in the comments. Only ever as a gift for the next tired heart, never as a price for your own restoration. And let me show you what restoration will actually look like, so you have something to hope toward when the tiredness makes it hard to believe. It will not come all at once, and do not despise it for being gradual, because I build the most lasting things slowly. First will come the smallest things, a night of real sleep, a morning where you wake and the dread is not sitting on your chest, a moment of laughter that surprises you, a joy you had forgotten you were capable of. Then, as you keep returning to the rhythm, the fog over your mind will begin to lift, and you will find you can hear me again, clearly the way you used to. Your discernment will sharpen. Decisions that felt impossible under exhaustion will become clear. The heaviness in your spirit will lighten, not because your circumstances all changed overnight, but because you are no longer carrying them alone. And in time, the fire you thought had gone out for good will begin to burn again. Quietly at first, then steadily, because it was never truly dead. It was only starved for the oil of unhurried time with me. This is what I am walking you toward, my child. not a life with no work and no weight, but a life where the work flows from rest instead of replacing it, where you are strong because you are refilled, and where you serve from overflow instead of running on empty until you break. So receive this blessing over your life tonight. I bless your weary body that it would be restored, and that you would learn to honor it as the temple it is. I bless your tired mind that the fog would lift and clarity would return. I bless your heavy spirit that the weight you were never meant to carry alone would be lifted off of you. I bless your rest, that it would be holy and free of guilt, and that you would receive it as the gift it has always been. I bless the fire in you that has grown dim, that it would be rekindled, not through striving, but through returning to me. I bless your boundaries, that you would learn to say no without shame, and yes without losing yourself. I bless the exchange I am offering you tonight, your exhaustion for my strength, your burnout for my peace. And I bless the season ahead, that as you finally slow down and come back to me, your vision would sharpen, your hope would rise, and your strength would be renewed like the eagle's. What has been worn down, I am faithful to restore. What feels delayed is not denied, and what looks like the end is only the realignment before I lift you higher. I bless the guilt that has chased you every time you tried to rest, that it would be silenced tonight and lose its grip on you for good. I bless your sleep, that it would be deep and restoring, and that you would learn to lie down in trust instead of lying awake in worry. I bless the boundaries you are learning to set, that you would hold them without apology and without fear of what others think. I bless the well inside you that has been drawn from for so long, that I would refill it faster than the world can empty it. I bless the small joys that went quiet in you, that they would return one by one until laughter comes easily to you again. I bless the people who lean on you, that they would learn to give as well as take, and that you would learn to receive as well as give. I bless the fire I placed in you, that it would burn again, steady and bright, fueled not by frantic striving but by unhurried time in my presence. And I bless the years ahead of you, that they would not be a slow burning out, but a long and steady shining, sustained by wisdom and rhythm and rest, so that you finish your course not depleted and broken, but whole and strong and full of the peace I have been trying to give you all along. So carry this warning with you when you leave, and return to it on the days the striving tries to pull you back under, because it will. When the guilt rises as you rest, remember that I built rest and called it good. When the voice tells you that exhaustion is proof of your faithfulness, remember that even my own son withdrew to be still. When you feel too far behind to recover, remember that my mercies are new every single morning. And remember the one thing that matters most, that I did not send this warning to shame you. I sent it because I love you, and because I am not willing to watch you break under a weight I never asked you to carry. And hear how much this warning cost me to send, because it will tell you how much you are worth to me. I do not interrupt a life for something small. I do not draw close and speak clearly over a thing that does not matter. The very fact that I stopped you tonight, that I arranged for these exact words to reach you at this exact hour, is because I see something in you far too valuable to let slowly burn away. You are too precious to me to lose to exhaustion. You are too entrusted with purpose to spend your years running on empty, and you are too deeply loved for me to stay silent while the slow erosion took what I intended to use. So do not hear this as a small thing. A God who holds the whole world in his hands paused tonight to speak to one weary heart. Yours, because that heart matters to me more than you have ever let yourself believe. Let that be the truth you carry out of this moment. Not that you did something wrong, but that you are loved enough to be warned, valued enough to be protected, and cherished enough that heaven itself would interrupt your striving to call you back to rest. So when the days ahead grow loud again, and the old pace tries to reclaim you, return to this. Remember that you were stopped by love. Remember that the warning itself was a mercy. And remember that the God who spoke it is not finished with you, but is walking with you into a healthier, stronger, more sustainable season than the one you have been surviving in. So do not despise this correction. Chosen one. It is one of the truest signs of my love. Before you go, subscribe and stay close to this house, so the next word I speak over your healing finds you. And share this with someone you know who is running on empty and calling it faithfulness. because your obedience in sending it may be the very thing that helps a weary soul breathe again. And as your final declaration tonight, if your whole heart receives this word, type, "I am coming to you to be restored. I see you. I am not finished with you, and the rest you have been longing for has been waiting for you the whole time. Come, chosen one, lay it down, and let me make you whole."